Hello everybody, we're back. As promised, we're going to continue off where we left off last night. So, I think we were doing Shiki Tohno versus Nanaya. We finished the Tohno part of it, and now I feel we can go into the Nanaya section. So let's reread what we got, and we'll carry on from there. I'm gonna give myself at least 20 to 30 minutes worth of work time tonight. Alright, one of the biggest differences between Tohno and Nanaya is how they view violence. For Tohno, and really for most people, violence is something that breaks your life. Violence is something that breaks your life apart. When Tohno gets placed into a fight, it pulls him away from his normal routines, his school life, and the person he wants to be. Killing isn't who he is, it's a necessity he hates dealing with. For Nanaya, violence isn't an interruption, it's the foundation of his existence. We, the audience, see it firsthand. I might change that. We, the audience, see it firsthand at what he is capable of through his various feats. It's kind of an awkward sentence, so I might actually change that in a bit. So, we, the audience, see it firsthand at what he is capable of. So we're gonna change it right now, actually. It's just it feels like an awkward pause. So we, the audience, see firsthand at what he is capable of. A person who was bred and trained by the Nanaya family to hunt demonic entities. Because his childhood was cut short by the massacre, his instincts became the only language he ever learned fluently. In Tsukihime and Melty Blood, plenty of characters kill. What makes Nanaya stand out is how effortlessly good he is at it. So just because I write something down, it doesn't mean it's to be in the end product. I'm always going back and changing stuff. So as we know, Tohno represents the other possibility. Not a completely different person from Nanaya, but the same person shaped by everything that came afterwards. The instincts are still there. The training he received in his childhood remained buried somewhere inside of him. Even after that traumatic night, his body never forgot. The events of Tsukihime and Melty had forced Tohno to confront another part of himself in the world he thought he understood. Even how close influence from his childhood remains important to that kind of person he is. It should be noted that those experiences don't erase the 90% that's dormant. If anything, they give Tohno something to place between himself and his Nanaya instincts. Might change that. If anything, they give Tohno something to place between himself and his Nanaya instincts. He can recognize the urge to kill without simply surrendering to it, and make choices that have nothing to do with the role his bloodline was demanded of him. The difference is not that Tohno escapes from what he was born as, is that he has a life outside of it to decide what that part of himself actually matters. Is that he has a life outside of it to decide what that part of himself actually means. I'm gonna keep it. And that's where the real difference between Tohno and Nanaya lies. Tohno can ask himself, who do I want to become? Nanaya was never given the opportunity to ask that question. So, how do we want to go about this? Also, I'm sorry this is white now. I'm on my actual gaming rig, and my word on my gaming rig is white instead of black. So it's gonna take me a while to get used to. Okay. So Nanaya was never given that opportunity to ask that question. So let's do this. Child Shiki Nanaya. Child Shiki Nanaya. Child Shiki Nanaya. Child Shiki Nanaya was raised. Wait. Challenge. It's raised. From childhood. Well, he loosely gained the techniques. I could say he got a foundation. Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it. He got the foundation. What's kind of wild, I'm gonna say something real quick. The way we see Tohno and Nanaya fight it's like they're super proficient at, well, more so Nanya, they're very proficient at what they do, even with, I won't say half-assed, even with like a minimum to substantial amount of training. The fact that like Nanya was able to kill all of Nero's beasts is still like crazy. Like, let's just say Tohno's training stopped at around 10 years old, probably 8 years old, something along those lines. You have a major gap between from his training to where the Tsukihime must going to take place. Like, damn, the way he's going about it, it's like he's been hunting, killing things for years. It's actually kind of like crazy. But who am I to say anything? Foundation of his family's techniques. We're gonna be, at least I gotta be specific here. What else do we want to do here? Even after that night. I'm being super dramatic here. We don't need to be this dramatic, but we're gonna be dramatic. They slept. So, it survives. Within Tohno. Survives within Tohno. Survives within Tohno. What survives within Tohno is not simple. A second person. Take his place. What survives in Tohno is not simply a second person waiting. Jesus, what is spelling? What? No, actually, but buried. Foundation. What time is it? 8 minutes. Or the buried foundation. I can't say what he once was because we don't know what he would have became. What he could have been. But remember, Nanya's a big what if. What more do we want to do here? I'm trying to think. What more do we want to do? Even after that night, the skills he learned didn't disappear. They slept. What survives within Tohno is not simply a second person waiting to take his place, but the very foundation of what he could have been. We have to remember. Remember, Tohno to build an identity. We have to remember you have to remember that Tohno got spilled an identity. While Nanya is what remains. It's what remains. Well, Nanya is what remains. Nanya is what remains. Nanya is what remains. And there's nothing else. There's nothing else. As usual, don't drink unless you're my age. It's kind of wild they're selling soju for $3 where I'm at. It's actually kind of crazy because that's 13% alcohol. We're gonna have people like piss drunk, wasted. Nanya is what remains when there is nothing else. In a way, Nanya is the version of Tohno. In a way, Nanya's version of Tohno. Who the fuck? Give me a second. Work. Even when I'm not on duty, I'm on duty. Give me a second, guys. Cool. Where was I? In a way, Nanya is version of Tohno. That just lost my train of thought. In a way, Nanya isn't simply it's the part of Tohno. It's the part of Tohno. Chance. Discover. And that's good. I think that's definitely good. Let's read it over again, and I think I gotta bring my outline up. It's not up right now. As we know, Tohno represents the other possibility. Not a completely different person from Nanya, the same person shaped by everything that came afterwards. The instincts are still there. The training he received in his childhood remained buried somewhere inside of him. Even after that traumatic night, his body never forgot. The events of Tsukihime and Melty would force Tohno to confront another part of himself in the world he thought he understood. Even Alco's influence from his childhood remains important to that kind of person he is. But it should be noted that those experiences don't erase the Nanya persona that's dormant. If anything, they give Tohno something to place between himself and his Nanya instincts. He can recognize the urge to kill without simply surrendering to it, and make the choices that have nothing with... I'm gonna fuck that up, I guarantee you. I'm gonna have to change that. He can recognize the urge to kill without simply surrendering to it, and make choices that have nothing with the role his bloodline wants to demand from him. We're changing that right now. Make choices that have nothing to do. Okay, there we go. He can recognize the urge to kill without simply surrendering to it, and make choices that have nothing to do with the role his bloodline once demanded of him. Sounds a lot better. The difference is not that Tohno escapes what he was born as, is that he has a life outside of it to decide what that part of himself actually means. And that's where the real difference between Tohno and Nanaya lies. Tohno can ask himself, who do I want to become? Nanaya was never given that opportunity to ask that question. As mentioned, Child Shiki was raised by a family of demon hunters before that fateful night. From childhood, he gained the foundation of his family's technique. Even after that night, the skills he learned didn't disappear, they slept. What survives within Tohno is not simply a second person waiting to take his place, but the buried foundation of what he could have been. We'll keep it as been. We have to remember that Tohno got to build an identity, while Nanaya is what remains when there is nothing else. In a way, Nanaya isn't simply the version of Tohno who's a killer. He's the part of Tohno that never got the chance to discover what he could have been. I like it. Alright. Still kind of worried what that work message was. So we'll do like a few more minutes here. I gotta go take care of that. But I think we're ready to move to section 5. I just gotta see what the hell section 5 was. Ah, Tsukihime Nanaya. Alright, let's cook. Remember, the Nanaya that's dormant within Tohno and Tsukihime Nanaya. Two completely different entities. Because if Tsukihime Nanaya dies, the one that's dormant within Tohno will be just fine. Okay. So we'll get this started, then we'll wrap it up tonight. So probably should go to answer that. So, Tsukihime Nanaya. How would I want to start this? No. Let's not do a question. Speakers. This becomes even stranger. Now Nanaya. This becomes even stranger when Tatsu joins the mix, because now a version of Nanaya exists outside of Tohno. Do a couple sentences, then we'll wrap it up tonight's session. I gotta do sprite animation stuff, go to sleep, go to work. The cycle continues. Nanaya that appears in Melty blood. The dormant Nanaya. Escape his body. Just to recap, remember how Tatsuri works. Tatsuri is a rumor-based phenomenon. So, if there's a rumor, people give it power. People like to yap. So, if there's a rumor going around of someone killing people at night with a knife, most likely Tatsuri will manifest Nanaya. It just depends on the context of the rumor. So, again, what the fuck is that line on my screen? Give me 1 second. What the fuck just happened here? Okay. It's very strange. Alright, we're totally gonna ignore that. Okay. Anyways. Yeah. So if there's a rumor going around, it would probably most likely be Nani. It just depends on the context of the rumor. Is it oddly specific? It depends. It really just depends. You might get somebody else, but it's most likely gonna be Nanaya. Or to be more specific, there's a red-haired demon walking around going out for people's blood. It's probably most likely Vyakia. It just depends. It really just depends. Alright, the Naya that appears in Melty but isn't the dormant Nanaya. I wrote that twice. Within Tohno escaping his body. He is a manifestation. Actually, my notes on. He is a manifestation. Let's do like 3 more minutes. He is a manifestation. Hit by Night of Wallachia. We did a video on that last year. Night of Wallachia. I probably should be specific here. As a reminder, Tatsuri is a phenomenon. So, depending on the specific context. Which usually includes fear. I don't want to say yapping, but generally it's people spreading. It's like a game of telephone. There's a fear and rumors. That should be good. So let's just we're ready to run over the last section. So let's just see this passage, then we'll start wrapping it up. So this becomes even stranger when Tatsuri joins the mix. Oh, I'm so blind. Because now a version of Nanaya exists outside of Tohno. The Nanaya that appears in Melty isn't the dormant Nanaya within Tohno escaping his body. He's a manifestation created by the Night of Wallachia. As a reminder, Tatsuri is a phenomenon that is based on rumors. It will manifest a rumor depending on the specific context of said rumor. I'm gonna probably have to reword that later. It's fine. Which usually includes the fear and rumors circulating around the populace because people can't stop talking. But good stuff. We did good. You did really good. Alright, so as usual, enjoy the VOD. I'll be doing at least another 30 minutes of this tomorrow. We're about halfway done with this. Just stand by. We should have this probably by Labor Day. Alright, other than that, see y'all later. Enjoy the VOD, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys.